So we are in Psalm 52 today, and I've decided to introduce a little bit of product placement in the hope that a bit of sponsorship might come my way. So Diet Coke, if you're watching, I am available for sponsorship, and it would help just generally. Psalm 52 is rooted in an account from 1 Samuel 22, which is worth having a read to give you some context. But in a nutshell, what you've got is a psalm that invites reflection upon what we see in the lives of those around us. So what I'm going to throw at you is, rather than sort of 3 prayer points, I want to throw at you a vision for our lives to pray about. I want to give you some questions to think about prayerfully, and then I want to give you a simple statement of faith to root your prayers in. Hope that sounds okay. Why do you boast of evil, O mighty man? The steadfast love of God endures all the day. Your tongue plots destruction like a sharp razor, you worker of deceit. You love evil more than good, and lying more than speaking what is right. You love all words that devour, O deceitful tongue. But God will break you down forever. He will snatch and tear you from your tent. He will uproot you from the land of the living. The righteous shall see and fear, and shall laugh at him, saying, see the man who would not make God his refuge, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and sought refuge in his own destruction. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the steadfast love of God forever and ever. I will thank you forever, because you've done it. I will wait for your name, for it is good in the presence of the godly. I think one of the things that we're invited to explore in that place of prayer is how our lives are going, and to talk to God about the vision for our lives. What do we want our lives to look like? Well, Lord, I want mine to look like this. I want to be like that green olive tree that's fruitful, that's vibrant, that's healthy and alive, regardless of what's going on around me. And so these verses 8 and 9 invite that reflection and asking for God's help to root ourselves down into the right stuff and to become the kind of people that God's calling us to be. So there's a vision to get us praying about. Then in verses, I guess, 1 to 7, really, there are these different reflections on things going on around David that invite us to ask ourselves some difficult and really important questions. The first question is this: what comes out of my mouth? Listen to this. Why do you boast of evil? Your tongue plots destruction like a sharp razor. I find that description quite challenging. A tongue that's like a sharp razor. What are the words that come out of my mouth like? Are they life-giving, or actually am I critical, condemning, harsh? Are my words like a sharp razor that cut? There's something to be reflected on there, and to ask for the Lord's help. The second question is, what do I love? You love evil more than good, verse 3. What are the loves of my life? And if you were to study my life, what would that say? I want to love the Lord more than anything else. And so in prayer, I'm invited to reflect, what do I love? And if you were to study my life, what would you see? And then the third question is, what do I trust? See the man who would not make God his refuge, but trusted in the abundance of his riches. Money's tough, like we need it, yet it can so easily rule us. We never seem to have enough, but having more can ruin us. I think this psalm invites us to reflect upon the role and the place of money in our lives. Are we trusting what money will give, the kind of the middle-class dream, if you like, or are we trusting the Lord? These 3 questions take us to a place of prayer. And then the final thing, so you've got a vision, you've got some questions to reflect on, and then the last thing is like a statement of faith, and the statement of faith is simply this: remember, God is good. I will thank you forever because you've done it. I will wait for your name, for it is good. God is good all the time. All the time God is good, and that reminder helps us pray and sustains us. So there you go, a vision, some questions to reflect on and pray about, and a reminder that God is good. Have a read and have a pray. God bless.